Hi, I'm Brian O'Connor, and in this demonstration video we're going to have a look at how we install the Virtual Center Server Appliance for vSphere version 6.7. I've downloaded the ISO file for the installer, and what I'm going to do now that I've mounted the ISO file is I'm just going to come into my VCSA UI installer folder. As you can see here, we can install the Virtual Center Server from 3 different desktop operating systems. I'm going to go for Win32, but I could go Mac, could go Linux. Then what we'll do is just double click on Installer. That then brings me into the wizard, so we can install. This is where we install a new Virtual Center Server Appliance or Platform Service Controller. We can upgrade an existing Virtual Center Server Appliance or Platform Service Controller. We can migrate from a Windows Virtual Center Server to the appliance, and we can do a restore from a previously created backup. However, we'll do an install. Broken down into 2 stages for the install. Stage 1 is actually just deploying the appliance, and then stage 2 will be setting it up. So we'll work through the wizard for stage 1. We'll select next. We'll read the end user license agreement. We'll accept the license agreement and select next. What we're going to do at this point here is we're going to install the Virtual Center Server and Platform Service Controller within a single virtual machine, but we can't split them apart if we wish. So we'll select next. Going to install the Virtual Center Server as a virtual machine on ESXi 01.brianoconnor21.local. We're happy with port 443. Root is the user account I'm going to authenticate with, and then we'll just specify the password. Then we'll select our next button. This is just telling me I have an untrusted certificate. This is a lab environment, so I'm happy with my self-signed certificate, and we'll select yes. Now after the validation, we just need to give the virtual machine a name that we're going to create. I'm going to call it VC01. I'm going to set the root password and confirm the root password. Now we've done that, we'll select next. Then ask me what size I want to make the virtual machine based off the number of hosts and the number of VMs I'm going to have. I'm going to go for tiny, but as you can see we can go up to extra large. That would allow me to manage up to 2000 ESXi hosts and 35,000 virtual machines. But we'll select next at this point. I'm going to install it onto Data Store 1. So we can see the capacity, free space, provision space. Thin provisioning is supported, so we will enable our thin disk modes to save some disk space. I'm not going to install a new vSAN cluster, don't have vSAN, so we'll select next at this point. Then we just need to configure our network settings. We're going to join a network called VM Network. We are going to use IP version 4. We're going to use a static IP address assignment. We're going to specify the fully qualified domain name, which has also been registered in DNS. So I'll just come to my DNS server. So I've already created the record. Then what we're going to do is we're also going to specify IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server, and the ports that we're going to use for HTTP and HTTPS. Now we've done that, we'll select our next button. Read through the summary, make sure we're happy with everything we've put in place, which we are. And at this point here we'll select finish, and this will finish off stage 1, deploying the Virtual Center Server with the embedded platform service controller. This will take a few minutes, so we'll select finish. We can now see it's now deploying the Virtual Center Server Appliance. This is going to take a few minutes, so at this point here we'll just pause this presentation and return back once this part of the install is complete. Stage 1 is now complete, so as it says here we have successfully deployed our Virtual Center Server with embedded platform service controller. And in stage 2 what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the appliance setup. So all we'll do is we'll just select our continue button. This brings us to the stage 2 part of the wizard. And then what we're going to do at this point here is we're going to come in, select our next button. That's just retrieving some settings. What we're going to do is time synchronization mode. At this present moment in time I'm just going to synchronize time with the ESXi host. For my SSH access I'm going to disable this. But as it says here, for vCenter high availability we do need to enable SSH access. I'm not going to bother at this point, I'm just going to select my next button. It's then going to take me into my SSO configuration. So SSO stands for single sign-on. As we can see in grey we can see vSphere.local, which is the default. I'm actually going to use that for my domain. So we will use vSphere.local. And this will be the user account we log on as in order to actually manage Virtual Center Server. Then what we'll do is we'll just specify our password, and then we'll confirm our password, And then what we'll do is select our next button. I'm not going to bother with the customer experience program, so what we'll do is we'll turn off the tick box just for now. We'll select our next button, read through the summary. We're happy with everything in the summary. Select our finish button. Just telling me at this point here that once I start actually doing the install, I won't be able to pause or stop the install. I will, however, if I wish to, cancel the installation at this point. Not going to, I'm going to click OK. Config's about to start. This will take a few more minutes just for the configuration to go through. So again, what we'll do is we'll just pause the presentation and return back once the installation is complete. So as you can see now, successfully set up the appliance. It's all complete now. And in order to access the appliance, we can use https://vc01.brian.o'connor21.local, and we'll do that on port 443. So just close the installation. It's now launching up into the admin page. So all we'll do at this point here is we'll just continue on to the web page. We'll launch the vSphere client. And what this will do for us is this will then launch us into the admin page. So we'll just log in as our administrator. Then at vSphere.local. Put in the password. And select login. This will then log us into the home page. And at that point there we can now start adding our ESXi hosts. But that's the end of this demonstration of installing the virtual appliance, Virtual Center and Platform Service Controller. Thank you.